ANN News Kids. I'm going to be talking about Russia demand, Will Smith, Naomi Osaka, and Sri Lanka. The country of the week is Panama, and nobody unfortunately guessed the country. The Extra Fun segment is the beginning of the new Mandarin segment, which will have its own segment from next week onwards. And in the Spiritual Career segment, we are talking to Ananya Banerjee, who is an amazing student activist who is currently living in Australia studying psychology. She has an amazing story and I really hope you enjoy. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment below because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Earlier this week, Russia threatened to stop supplying oil and gas to other countries unless they paid in rubles, Russia's national currency. President Vladimir Putin said that the buyers must open bank accounts in Russian banks in order to get the supplies. The EU gets about 40% of its gas and 30% of its oil from Russia, and it's not going to be easy to find a substitute because they already said that they will not accept Russia's demand. Germany has already started placing orders saying that there should be less energy used, and they're trying to convince the people to use as little energy as possible. People think that Russia is doing this to increase and boost the Russian ruble. Will Smith, an actor, decided to quit the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences following an event during the Academy Awards. In the Academy Awards, he slapped the presenter Chris Rock after a joke that he made. Will Smith said that he was really sorry and apologized publicly, but said that he really needed to take some time off to control himself. Naomi Osaka, a tennis player, reached the Miami Open finals. This is her first finals since last year's Australian Open. She had quit tennis for a little bit of time before, but after returning, she had a few problems with her mental health, form, and depression. But now she is back on track and she's going to be playing against Iga Swiatek in the finals. She's a 4-time Grand Slam champion. The Sri Lankan president decided to declare a nationwide public emergency because of some violent protests outside his house because of the country's economic crisis, the worst one in decades. The country has 22 million people and they're queuing up for basic goods and are facing long blackouts. COVID-19 really affected the tourism sector in Sri Lanka for 2 years, and now they are facing a currency devaluation and a foreign exchange problem. Hi everybody, this week for the Spiritual Career segment, we are talking to Ananya Banerjee, who is a student activist currently living in Australia studying psychology. She has an amazing journey, background, and advice, and I really hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Hi, I am Ananya Banerjee and I'm 18 years old. So I am pretty much inclined towards psychology and mental health. So I'm studying psychology honors at Australian National University in Australia. and that's where I am being interviewed. Um, I have been one of the youngest social activists back in India. As I and my sister Sanjoli, we both run an organization, non-governmental organization, and we have been working on 5 core issues. That's mental health, menstrual health, climate change, education for all, and female feticide. So overall, I am trying to be a versatile person. I am into sports, oratory, poetry, and yeah, I am grounded by spirituality. I love meditating. So yeah, definitely there are a lot of dimensions to me, and I'm sure that this interview will help all of those dimensions to get open and explored. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us more about what you do as an activist?
Yeah. When I was going to be born, so my activism has a story, has a why behind it. So it begins when I was going to be born in 2003. I was the second daughter in the family, and where I come from, the state Haryana and Punjab. So we have this thing that girls are, considered as a curse or as a burden in the family, whereas sons are welcomed and considered as a blessing. So when my mother had me in a room, she was all pressurized by people around her and acquaintances saying that you should get aborted because it's a girl in the womb. Then selective, sex detection was allowed, and they knew that it was a girl who was going to come. So it was then that my parents were moved, and they started, they started a campaign against female feticide, and they celebrated Lori Beti ke Naam. So that's a festival that is, considered to rejoice over the birth of the son. But my parents chose it to, rejoice over birth of a girl with the social message. So that was the point, that the entire story began. And when I started understanding that I am being, groomed in an environment where my parents are very sensitive towards social concerns, and when I developed my own intellect, there was no looking back. I jumped into activism. Being a child activist, I have campaigned at public places, recited poems, holding those banners and flags and meeting people and making them understand about awareness. So basically, it started then. And in 2009, we also talked about environment preservation. I and my sister, along with few people, we went on 4,500 long road expedition to 6 states of India. So we also made documentary. As I'm passionate about mental health, I did quite a few events. We did March for Mental Health on World Mental Health Day, which was done in 3 states of India. So we have done a lot of events, and the loveliest part is that I and my sister, we run a free mobile school for the rural underprivileged children in a village near I live. And we have actually raised a team of more than 200 to 300 members in our organization, having around more than 50 volunteers. So I just find the space of connecting with community, social service as soul satisfying, and it gives me, the purpose of my life. So that's when activism started, and I think it would last till my, life on the earth. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
You have an amazing journey.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And how did COVID-19 affect what you do, especially in activism?
Yeah, this question definitely makes a lot of sense because it was the time when we were running Su Shiksha is the name of the free mobile school I was talking about. We focus on holistic education, and we were like the school was directly affected by it. Definitely, we had different plans and projects lined up for different campaigns for mental health campaign or any other. But Su Shiksha, since it happens, or we have those teaching classes every Saturday, Sunday on the weekends. So because of COVID lockdown, we could not go to their village. We did do an awareness session as and when we got to know about, that lockdown is going to happen. We told them about COVID and that we might have to discontinue the physical classes. Unfortunately, those children do not have proper technology. They don't even have access to mobile phones so, that we could have online classes. So definitely that was a major drawback, and we could not have of classes for all the while we had lockdown. But definitely, as and when the lockdown got relaxed and like there was better situation, so we had those classes again. We saw that the level of children had fallen a bit. They were struggling with academics. They were distracted. They were, because of watching television or just, having all the free time in the world. They were not going to school. They were not coming to Sushiksha. They were distracted. They had poor concentration. So we had to work harder with them once we got out of lockdown. But definitely, I also see every challenge or every, problem as a challenge, in the way that I and my sister, we actually, boosted our online activism, in the way that we started, spreading our word through social media. We designed a website. We engaged more, online with our volunteers and members. We made new concept of inner circle, which means that we have meeting with our members, exclusively with our members, in which we talk about social and emotional, learning. We give them a space that we can bond together and unburden ourselves, because our organization not only focuses on external revolution and transformation, but also self transformation. So yeah, there were a lot of good things that we made through the pandemic, and definitely a few hurdles that made our route a little difficult. But yeah, all good now.
Wow. That's
Wow.
great.
Yeah. And what do you enjoy the most? Sorry. What do you enjoy the most about what you do?
About, sorry, what?
What do you enjoy the most about what you do?
Okay. There are quite a few things. I have always believed in one proverb, that love what you do and do what you love. And also what Oprah Winfrey says, the biggest adventure of life is to live a life of your dreams. I think combining both of them is the answer to your question, that being in that space of activism, I am an extrovert. I love being around people, interacting with them, understanding them. And, in the space of activism, I get to meet those children coming from marginalized, underprivileged backgrounds, empathizing with them, understanding them. I have been in a role when, like, I was in high school last year. So I have been in a role of being a teacher and a student at the same time, which was the most satisfying feeling, that, I have to perform my best as a student there and also be a teacher to them, understand their needs. So it's just amazing to be in the space of activism. You feel that, doing your efforts or thinking about, what you're doing is actually making the society a better place to live, at least for the future generations. And it gives me a lot of confidence and, that feeling of empowerment and independence, in the way that I come from a place where girls are even not, like, in some parts of the states, they don't even have access to education or right to education. They deny that basic right. But I am from the same place, and I am actually giving that space to those people so that they could be their own voices. And I have my own voice. I'm opinionated. So it feels liberated. And yeah, I just feel that I am coming closer to my passion, and I have the why of my life. So yeah, it makes the journey better. And I don't feel those hurdles to be big anymore, because I have support of my sister who's working with me. My parents always been rock with us. And then now a big team of volunteers and members. So yeah, I love the space.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
finally, what is your advice to kids?
Okay. Now I'm feeling that I'm set on a pedestal, and I'm giving advice to the kids. I am myself learning and evolving each day. I think that goes without saying. All of us are, I guess. But a little bit I have understood after my journey, or like being in the activism area, is that number one, definitely believe in yourself. Many times we underestimate ourselves. Believing in ourselves does not only mean our abilities and potential, but also about our flaws, our body. There are a lot of insecurities youth and children are going through. So if we believe in that, we accept and embrace all of that, I think we get like miles ahead of all those problems, and we see the world as a better place, and then we're able to concentrate on things that really need our attention. Number two is, I guess, we could develop as 21st century children or youth, we could develop more concern and sensitivity. We could start thinking beyond ourselves. A lot, many times we think about our ambition, our money, our career. I think all of us already do that, but all we could start thinking is, are we thinking about the society? Are we doing our bit? Are we making the decision or the choice every day that am I carrying the plastic bag or am I taking the cloth bag? So these little decisions could make big impact. I guess apart from all of this is also taking care of mental health. I am a like stern advocate of mental health. I really believe in self-care, and overall I think we could just try to find the why of our life. It's just a long journey. I don't say that you would get an answer to it very soon, but at least take that hard step, take that risk of exploring it, because life is an adventure. I call it a roller coaster journey, and whatever I have been able to do is just because I have I've always taken that risk, and it's always worth it. So my best wishes to everyone who's watching this, and youth has immense power. We just fail to recognize it. So if we do channelize it, we could be the greatest strength of the country and the world.
Wow, thank you so much for your time today. It was so great.
It was really inspiring what you said. It was amazing interviewing you. We also learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As an end note, I would like to say that you're doing a great initiative. I love that I'm being interviewed by young girls. It means that, this world is definitely getting better, that 3 girls are interacting and talking about issues that really matter in the world. Thanks for doing this. And definitely I enjoyed this, loved the interview. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Le Panama est un pays d'Amérique du Sud et d'Amérique centrale. Sa capitale est ville de Panama et sa population est de 4,3 millions d'habitants. Le Panama a des paysages incroyables. C'était une colonie de l'Empire espagnol pour presque 300 années. L'inventeur du loi de Murphy était né au Panama. Le Panama Canal est l'un des 7 merveilles modernes du monde. L'oiseau national de Panama est le harpie. Le premier vol d'océan à océan était effectué au Panama en 1913. Merci. For the extra fun segment today, I'm going to be teaching you a little bit of Mandarin, as we're going to be starting a Mandarin segment from now on. I really hope you enjoy. For today's lesson, I'm just going to be teaching you the first basic tones in Mandarin. Mandarin is a tonal language and it has 4 tones: the first, second, third, and the fourth. These tones are used to differentiate between words. There could be words that have the same sounds but different tones, and they could mean completely different things. For example, ma with the first tone means mother, and ma means horse. So they sound pretty much the same, but because of the tones, they have different meanings. I'm going to be explaining the 4 tones to you. Thank you. So the first tone is a horizontal line, and it sounds something like a or e, as if it's going in one straight line. The second tone is more of a question-like tone, So the tone is going upwards. It's how we say the last word before a question mark in English, like sure, sure. Now you can hear the difference between sure and sure. The third tone is kind of like a valley. It goes down and then up. Sure, sure. So the first tone was sure, the second sure, the third sure. The second and the third tone are sometimes mistaken, and the fourth tone is going downwards, a little bit like a statement, sure. So we've got sure, 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 sure. Now you can hear the difference between the four tones and practice. Next week we're going to be learning a few basic words like greetings in Mandarin. I really hope you enjoy.